Hi everybody, it's Ryder from Hotspot, bringing you my weekly Tuesday night feature at this time, Hotspot of the Week. And this week I want to talk to you about Perth, specifically the market that we like a lot up in the northern area of Perth, the Joondalup precinct, the local government area of the city of Joondalup, a suburb of Joondalup, everything Joondalup really. It's the market that we perhaps rate the highest of the markets in Perth, as that market moves increasingly into a recovery phase after 3 or 4 years of downturn in the Perth, induced by a slowdown in its economy, which is very, very strongly interlinked with the resources sector. And when the resources investment boom went kaput, the Perth property market suffered. After 3 or 4 tough years where prices and rents declined and vacancies have been high, that market's strongly moving into recovery now. And one of the markets that held up the best during the downtime was the Joondalup precinct, and it's one of the markets that's leading the recovery. It has a fairly decent level of affordability as well as many growth drivers. The Joondalup local government area is about 25 kilometres north of the CBD of Perth. It's and the suburb of Joondalup sits beside the Lake Joondalup Nature Reserve and has quite effectively is its own CBD, a mini CBD in the north of Perth with an amazing array of facilities and features and infrastructure, which is one of the reasons why this is such a strong area for us to recommend in the Perth market. It includes the Joondalup Learning Precinct, which includes the Edith Cowan University, the West Coast Institute of Training, the Western Australian Police Academy. It's also got the Joondalup Health Campus, hospital, etc. It's got offices of the Australian Electoral College, the Lake Joondalup Baptist College, 16 state government departments represented there in that Joondalup CBD, as well as 5 federal government departments. There's also the Lakeside Joondalup Shopping Centre, which is a very major, one of the biggest shopping centres in Western Australia, particularly after a recent $300 million revamp. So there's a lot of infrastructure. There's also a transport hub as well. There's train links, there's buses, etc., interconnecting there. And it's a market that we think has a big future. One of the things that's happening is there's a new major commercial development happening, which is going to result in 800 public servants being relocated from the central Perth up into this Joondalup precinct, so bringing lots of jobs and therefore presumably demand for real estate into the local market. It's a pretty strong, solid property market. We note that its home ownership rates are much higher than normal. The average for Western Australia is about 68%, according to the latest figures, but in this particular precinct, it's 81%, 35% own their homes outright, and another 46% own their homes with mortgages. So it has that in its favour. There's a fairly decent level of affordability. It's not the most affordable part of the Perth market, but it's kind of down towards the affordable end. The suburb of Joondalup itself has a median house price around $500,000. Neighbouring Edgewater has a median price about $490,000. Other suburbs in the local government area are more expensive, but those ones are actually closest to the Joondalup CBD with all their infrastructure and facilities are the ones that have the best level of affordability. Vacancies have been very high in Perth over the last few years, but in this precinct they're at pretty acceptable levels. They've come down. Some postcodes are around 3%. There's a couple of postcodes in the Joondalup local government area that's below 3% now. 1 or 2 are a little bit higher, but that's a positive sign. Rents are relatively strong. Many of the suburbs have median yields between 4% and 4.5%. So that's another factor which is in its favour. And one of the things to look for if you have a mind to go looking for investment property in this area is that there are some parts of the Joondalup local government area that have a particular residential zoning that allows you, that it actually applies to a single house on a block of land, but if it's got the right zoning and sort of a particular land size, you're able to build an additional dwelling or additional dwellings on that site. That's something to look for as an extra value-adding opportunity if you're looking in that market. So it's what we call the Joondalup precinct. It's the local government area of Joondalup, based on the suburb of Joondalup and nearby suburbs around that wonderful CBD with all those facilities and amenities. That's where I'd be looking for growth prospects and a reasonable level of affordability. So that's our hotspot of the week, one of the leading growth areas as Perth moves into a recovery phase. That's it for now. Terry Ryder from Hotspotting signing off. If you're interested in learning more about this area or other locations around Australia, go to the hotspotting.com.au website, and we have a particular feature on location reports at the moment, individual locations, of which Joondalup is one. If you want to find out more, you can access those reports on the website. That's it for now. Signing off. Terry Ryder signing off. Talk to you again soon.